And welcome to Ozarks Live. Thanks for joining us. We have plenty to talk about on the show today, and we're going to start talking like right now because one of the things one of the guys here has a graduation ceremony to go to.
Yeah, we actually have some guests with us right now. I want you to say hello to Josh Cantrell down there on the end. He's the broadcast journalism and film advisor. Central High School. He's the one that's got to skedaddle over to JQH Arena here in a few minutes. Two of his students also, Daniel Winda and Sham Rama. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for coming by.
We're delighted to have them on because these two put together a documentary film about a hotel that, until just a few weeks ago, sat at one of the busiest corners in town, Glenstone and Kearney. Sham, I want to start with you. Why was that piece of property so important to you?
So my parents actually bought the business, I think in 2001.
The Springfield Inn.
And then, I basically grew up there. I was born there. I lived there. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
why it was important to me.
that was his home, and he wanted to do a documentary about growing up inside the hotel. But the story itself became much bigger than that. We're going to show you a clip now. Take a look at this.
What to see is going to be my house. It was just an apartment my parents built in when we first moved in, which was around 20 years ago. This right here, this is the first room. This was my room and my brother's room for about 12 years. My brother moved right upstairs, and I lived in here for another year before I moved into the old room. One break-in event that I remember vividly was with my father. I was walking with him at nighttime, and we had seen a couple try to break into a room through our AC vents with a crowbar. Me being around, I think I was like 14, maybe 15 at the time, I was completely terrified. I was very scared of what I had seen, and I had just moved into a new hotel room, and that kind of struck a lot of nightmares for me, knowing that there could be break-ins in my room and something could happen to me one day. This was the bathroom. This was my parents' bathroom.
Wow, yeah.
Now, for saying where it is, but kind of picturing in your mind, this is the one that had the curved mirror on the second floor to heat the pool. Is that what it was at one time?
Yeah, it was I actually don't know if I never found out the story of why we had those lights and stuff like that. Apparently, back in 1990s or something like that, it was called the Solar Inn. And so I think that was why it was named that, or why it was there. But I don't really know too much of the background history behind it.
So this was a class project for you guys to do a project. What was it like going back in there?
So going back in there, I mean, I had been there a couple times in January after we sold it, just to see the property and kind of visit it and maybe pick up some things I might have forgot. But 2 months later when we came back, it was completely different. I mean, the fires had happened and everything happened down there, so it was kind of weird looking at that.
That would be really sad, I would imagine.
Was this a project where you set the terms beforehand, or you went there, saw what there is to be seen, and then formed it around that?
I think this was more of a project we did beforehand. We thought it out the day before, and then the next day we just went shot for
the day before.
Yeah, this was all planned out the day before at maybe 9 or 10 p.m. And the next day at about 2 p.m. we went and shot. That's
amazing. Josh, what did you think when you saw it?
I thought it was wonderful. I mean, what we always look for with every student project is a personal connection. And we always stress the importance of telling a story that's yours, not somebody else's. And that's what they did. He sought out something that was a story that was very close to him, that only really he could tell. And he did a great job with it, and collaborating with other people on the process and bringing them into that space. But the other thing I really respect about it is the vulnerability. I mean, he walked into a space that was difficult to go back into, and he shared that with us. And I thought that was really powerful, and it led to a really nice documentary.
Well, and Daniel, you probably picked up on this because you guys, I'm sure, were friends and colleagues, and you're thinking, he grew up in a hotel. How interesting. Of course, they own the hotel, but then the homelessness and the kind of the despair of some of the people around there really made its way into the story, which made it more impactful.
Right. So I was initially actually intrigued when I first found out that that's the life that he grew up in, because I personally came from a much different background. I grew up on the north side, and I went to Truman Elementary School. So I had a pretty normal childhood, but you come across someone like that, it's just super interesting. So in terms of the documentary, I was I kind of contemplated how I could integrate that sense of or just the kind of perspective it gave me. I wanted to integrate that into the documentary, and so I kind of came up with the idea of kind of following him through that, and it just kind of puts the audience in a perspective. So it kind of mimicked how I felt when I kind of went through that hotel with him. So I wanted the audience to really experience that. And
Well, of course, the hotel is gone now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very different corner than it used to be.
But see, we say it the same way. The hotel is gone. Your home is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big difference right there.
Of course, they sold it. And
Yeah.
you moved.
Yeah.
And all of
Yeah.
this is in the documentary. So if you look on YouTube, and there's actually a link on our Ozarks Live Facebook page now. It's on YouTube and Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the deal. We are going to continue this conversation after a quick break. We're going to learn more about the broadcast program overall at Central High School. So stay with us. We'll be right back.